Hi you guys, my name is Auditioned the Great, and welcome to my beautiful channel. Again, forgive the awkward place because I always have to find somewhere to film, but nonetheless I'm trying to get videos to you guys. Today is about when I auditioned to be a stripper. So not too long ago, actually, maybe like a week or so ago or 2 weeks ago. Okay, first of all, let's bring it back to, I've always had this dream of being a stripper. Or I think because strippers make it look like a glamorous lifestyle, they make it look like it's easy, that anybody can do it. I always like dance and I like being naked, so I always thought like, yo, that's the best job ever. So recently I tried to actually act on it. So the problem is I've always danced my whole life, but it's always been hip-hop, so hardcore dancing. It's never been like sexy seduction, and then adding nude on top of it is very intimidating. So recently I auditioned to be a stripper. Yes, a stripper. And it's funny because I always thought like, damn, a spiritual stripper, that'll be lit. But no, really, I feel like for the people who will hate on this video and be like, oh, how could she do things like this? I'm all for duality. I'm all for living your life and doing what you want. Yes, I'm very knowledgeable in certain topics, but I also have a life to live, and I also have to figure out ways to survive in the way that I feel is comfortable and necessary for me. And to each his own, the same for you and for everyone else. But with that being said, I recently auditioned maybe a week or so ago, and the thing about this is for one, I don't wear heels often and I don't know how to walk in heels, so that was a challenge for me to for dancing in no heels and dancing in heels is totally different, for those of you who wonder that. And then trying to slap them on at the last minute is like a no-no. Now, this was a total fail, by the way, and I'm not even embarrassed. I'm more so proud of myself for at least trying, because the club that I went to audition to first out of everyone was a full nude club, and it was crazy. I felt comfortable with my body, but as far as, again, dancing sexy and in heels was like traumatic for me. For me, the club was very prejudiced and racist, which you get a lot of that in the beauty industry in America, meaning they go for certain types of girls a lot of times. And modeling even was very hard for me, finding people who wanted to work with black girls. And sometimes stripping can be that way. So sometimes they look for certain girls, certain types, on top of me not knowing how to dance sexy like that. So it was that kind of atmosphere. It already made me, I went in feeling like a badass, and then seeing as if it was like mostly full of like white girls who were judgmental and shit. It was crazy. And I hated that I had to audition in front of a woman instead of a man, because I feel like obviously when you're a beautiful woman in front of men, you get a little bit more points, and a lot of women know that, especially if you know about sex appeal and seduction, things like that. Because with women you can deal with a lot of jealousy and underlying issues and shit, so I wasn't fucking with that. But I thought I'd give it a try anyway, so I went, and I had I think I was wearing like just pasties, sunflower pasties, and a gold thong, and some heels. And I was like, look, I'm gonna just try this. I didn't even have that much time to practice. It was like after getting from city to city, I got in the city, met my friend, grabbed some heels from her, danced a few days, didn't even take it that serious. But then I was like, oh, I need some money, so then I went and auditioned at her club that she took a few times to get into, but nonetheless she is doing her thing now. But yeah, this club, I went there, danced, and then let me tell you, the music sucked ass. For one, I feel like, being that, again, it was a club that was really prejudiced and shit, they played rock music for one. That was really hard for me to dance to. I never fucking danced to rock music and trying to be sexy at the same time. And I feel like they do this to weed out certain people, to be honest. So they pick two songs that you can't even pick. So it would be different if you could pick songs. Remember, if you work in a club, go somewhere that you can pick the songs. Even my friend, she works there now, and she's like, damn, I wish I could pick my music, because obviously if you know the music and you danced to it before, you're gonna look better. Another thing that my friend does is, since she works at a strip club now, is she takes classes, and that's how she gets better. And honestly, I would go that route first for me to be more comfortable, but she had no problem just getting in there, making the money, and then getting the money to take the classes. But for me, I got on stage, did my thing. Then how they did it though at this club was that at the audition, you couldn't pick the 2 songs, and the first song you had to be topless, and the second song you had to take off your bottoms. So it was a struggle with pasties. That was not smart. So I'm sitting here like dancing middle of the song, just trying to struggle to take off my pasties, getting really nervous and shit. And by the second song, my underwear was off, and by the end though, I was having so much fun, it didn't even matter. Because I think more so having fun is the most important thing in this situation. But at the end, needless to say, in the end, I didn't get it. And honestly, I do feel like if I kept trying, you know, I would hit the jackpot in it. But trying it out, I was proud of myself nonetheless. But then I was like, I don't really feel myself doing this all the time. Again, it's one of those things where if you know me by now, I'm an entrepreneur. I feel like I'm all about working smart, not more. So if I can literally make money online, just figure out how to boom online compared to having to go into an office, which I still felt like, even though stripping is an alternative to 9 to 5, it still was too much work to me. So it's like, if I don't really like having a boss or having to work on someone's terms and things like that, so it felt still like a job. And for people who like that, that's fine. But for me, I tried it out and I was like, shit, I don't even know if I can come in here every day thinking, you know, like dancing, putting on a show and working with crowds. It's like you have to think about what you're trading a lot of times in jobs, period. And that's in not regular 9 to 5s, businessmen, businesswomen, things like that. But yeah, so yeah, that was my little kind of experience with stripping and auditioning for the first time. Would I do it again? I don't know. I would have to be prepared, to be honest. And then I think it's better for these jobs if you have fun. Like my friend, she has fun doing these jobs. Like me, it seems like a chore still. It seems like, you know, it seems like work. And for me, I'm trying to get as furthest away from that as possible. So I'd rather put my energy into building an empire. But yeah, for those of you guys, maybe you learned from my experience that I'm telling you, if you want to do it, I'm all for it. I like supporting strippers and sex workers. Next I'll probably touch on a video about how I feel about escorting and how, honestly, my mind fluctuates from I saw this quote somewhere, from escorting, sugar daddies, stripping, and like, it's nothing bad. Even if you don't actually act in these things, there hasn't been a point in someone's life that they haven't at least thought about it. And if you say that, you'd be lying. Just like people always think about porn and all these different revenues of making money and just doing stuff because it's taboo or fun. But yeah, I'll put my input out next on, if you guys haven't noticed, I'm all about putting out taboo subjects. So if you weren't ready, then you better get ready. But yeah, do you, be dope, be unapologetically. That is the time that I auditioned to be a stripper. Peace.